What's going on, everybody? This is Cody, the home theater hobbyist, and I'm sitting in a hotel room just outside of Marlboro, New Jersey, because KEF US invited me to their headquarters for a jazz celebration that they were holding in the KEF Music Lounge. And inside of the lounge, they also have the KEF Music Lounge Theater, which is a THX certified theater. And quite frankly, it was an excellent experience. For this event, they invited Grammy Award winner Ricky Riccardi, who is the Director of Research Collections at the Louis Armstrong House Museum and Archives. And he has a lot of knowledge about Louis Armstrong's career. But he brought along some audio and video clips, some unreleased stuff that we were actually able to listen to there in the theater on a pair of Blade 1 Metas. And quite frankly, it was an excellent experience. One of the clips that we listened to was actually just a recording that a recording engineer was just hit recording while they were working on the song. So we could hear, Louis kind of talking and trying to find the right key and stuff like that. It was truly a special experience, just sitting there in the room and again, listening to those Blade 1 Metas. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you, exactly what the sound profile was at, the treble and the mid-range and stuff like that. That's not what this video is about. It's just saying that the Blade 1 Metas, well, they sound fantastic. I'm going to say that. And overall, it was a great experience because not only did we get a chance to listen to the Blade 1 Metas, but we also got a chance to watch movie clips. Baby Driver, 1917, Ford versus Ferrari, Greatest Showman, just various movie clips there in the theater. And again, it sounded fantastic on their reference in-wall system that they have there. And speaking of which, I'm going to cut to a quick clip where Ben from KEF is actually kind of walking us through and telling us what they have inside that theater. So let's go ahead and let's do that clip. I am in Marlboro, New Jersey with KEF in their music lounge. I had an opportunity to sit here tonight and listen to music and also watch a few clips on this screen behind me. And I have Ben here, who is basically the guy that put this whole room together. So Ben, can you tell us just a little bit about the room and what we saw and heard here tonight?
Absolutely, absolutely. So this is our THX Ultra certified room. And in this room, we're running all in-wall or in-ceiling speakers. Mm-hmm. So at the front, we have 1, 2 behind the screen, and 3 are CI 5160 reference in-wall speakers. So these are actually not just designed in Maidstone, but also built in Maidstone, one person building one speaker front to back and having it tested against the line standard. So this is our absolute pinnacle of in-wall speakers. Going round to the surrounds, we're using our 3160R series, and we have 5160Rs at the back as well. In terms of subwoofers, about 80% of what goes on in this room in the bass is coming from behind these 2 fabric panels, where we've got in each side a pair of Cube 12s. And then we've got a mixture of 200 QSB in-wall subs and 3160 RLB in-wall sub at the rear. And that's dealing with around 20% of the bass. And that's really just smoothing the bass through the room. So we're getting rid of standing waves and just making sure that the performance for everybody is as consistent as possible. Mm-hmm. Now, the thing that is really central to KEF is our UniQ technology. So that's this driver here. Right? So we're placing the tweeter at the exact acoustic center of the mid-range, which means that we have a really wide spread of equal sound. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you'll notice that through the room we've got the speakers quite high up, fair bit above ear level. Mm-hmm. This is just ensuring that everybody is getting the same level of detail and performance and experience as everybody else in the room.
Okay. So we also got a chance to hear the Blade 1s, correct? And it sounded phenomenal, I'm gonna be honest. We sat and we listened to some recordings from Louis Armstrong with the event that we had tonight. And it was fantastic. I have to say, it was fantastic. There was, 25 or so people in the room.
I think 25. I think it's 28 was final count. I think a lot of people in the room.
Yeah, we had a lot of people in the room, and everybody enjoyed themselves, myself included. Just listening to some stuff that was even just a live session that they just continue playing the tape, and you're hearing them basically create the songs, and you're listening to the blades, and it's just like, man, this sounds fantastic in this room. And I don't know if you can tell it over the mic, but this room is almost dead silent. It's not an acoustic chamber, but it is nice and tight in here. My voice is not carrying throughout the room or echoing off the walls because they've done a great job with the acoustic treatment. Can you tell us just a little bit about the acoustic treatment?
Yeah, absolutely. So we didn't want to make the room totally dead.
Right.
It's not the right thing to do.
Right.
But it's to control what's happening in the room, keep everything nice and consistent, nice and clean, so that we're getting the tonality of what's on the recording, what's on the film. So we've got mixture of diffusion and absorption on the walls. I mean, we've got maybe about 5.5 inches or so of absorption. So we're really absorbing over quite a wide bandwidth. And then we've got diffusion straight away on top of that. So we're very much controlling what's going on in the room. So you haven't got, none of these seats is experiencing anything different from any other seat. Because we're keeping everything tamed at the same level. So nothing's being exaggerated, nothing's being kind of taken away, which is very much the same philosophy that we have with our speakers as well.
Right. And leading to that, we had a chance to watch a few movie clips, including The Greatest Showman, the opening scene where you've got the stomps and the song, and the bass was, I could feel it through my seat, which is good. It was kind of like the butt kicker, but it was nice and rumbling through the seats. And that we also had the song she sings, Never Enough.
Never Enough.
Never Enough. And you've got her voice, and then you've got the orchestra in the pit, and you could hear the difference between the level of the voice and the orchestra being in the pit. It just sounds fantastic. And then I guess we've got, what do we do with that overhead?
So we're running 6 Atmos speakers
Right.
above.
Right.
So we've got 2 at the front, 2 in the middle, 2 at the rear, and these are our CI 200 RRs. And again, the same UniQ technology, so same concept, same level of detail, same even tonality as the rest of the speakers around.
Right. So it was a great experience. It was a great experience. And while I was sitting there and we were listening to some of Louis Armstrong's music, I was thinking to myself, this is why you want to have an accurate sound system, because unfortunately Louis Armstrong is no longer with us, right? But we have his recordings, and we want to be able to hear things the way it was meant to be heard, as if you were there in this studio, if you were there in the recording. And that was kind of some of the experience that we got tonight with the blades, and also when we were just watching movie clips. And honestly, they kind of had to kick a few people out of here to close the thing down, because everybody was just enjoying listening to the different concerts and stuff, because they have a lot of technology back there, including they've got a kaleidoscope as well. And what's powering this room? That's actually
so the source is, as you say, kaleidoscope.
Yep.
Then we're running through an Acurus Act 4 as the processor. Wonderful processor into power sound amplification.
Right. And the projector?
The projector is an Epson.
Okay. And the screen
is Screen Excellence.
Screen
Excellence. But it's one thing with the screen is it's a woven screen rather than a perforated screen. Because with a perforated screen, it's vinyl with holes punched. A lot of that high frequency gets reflected back. So by having a woven screen, everything's kind of taken down about the same. So again, it's much more consistent. We don't have to play around with the EQ when we don't need to. We just keep that beautiful tonality, even though the speaker is behind the screen.
Okay, hopefully you enjoyed that tour of the theater. It was an excellent experience. They said that they were running those reference level speakers at -10 dB from reference, and I didn't hear any distortion, nothing like that. It sounded fantastic in that room. The Blade ones also sounded fantastic. Overall, it was a really good experience. It was really fun learning more about Louis Armstrong, his life, and the things he stood for. They also had a pair of Blade ones set up outside the theater. Those were the ones in black. And again, they sounded fantastic in that space as well. So if you have a pair of Blade ones, congratulations. You've got some really nice speakers. But it was just a great experience. I'll leave it at that. So I definitely want to thank KEF for inviting me to it. And if you guys want to purchase anything from KEF, use those links in the description below. If you enjoy this type of content, definitely give us a thumbs up, hit that subscription bell and that notification button so you can be alerted anytime I upload new content. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you next time.